And good morning, Facebook, YouTube. My name is Gator Kincaid, and we're about to get into some news. We call it News You Can Use. Coming up, a look at our daily arrest report. We also have news from Lee County, Opelika, and the dedication and ribbon cutting of yesterday's event at Fox Run School in Opelika. News out of Lanett, some really good news from Hester's Tag and Label on a tax abatement that the Lanett Mayor and Council voting on. First and foremost, let's start our morning off with a look at that forecast. And boy, it's going to be a hot one. Excessive heat through today. Let's go ahead and get a look at today's weather, where you can expect a high in the mid 90s, realistically upper 90s. The heat advisory has been continued through today. A heat index over 100 degrees. Now, yesterday afternoon, we received information from our friends at the Chambers EMA. And basically, it's just telling you what we already know. Now, they're encouraging us, as you can see, we're right here in that area right there, to know the signs and differences between heat exhaustion and a heat stroke. And this puts a lot of people in a very precarious and dangerous position. If you're experiencing any symptoms, whether it be heat stroke or heat exhaustion, please call 911. Stay hydrated. Limit your outside time as much as possible, especially during the middle of the day. As you can see, we're already off to a very hot and muggy start. And now a look at our daily arrest report. It's brought to us by our friends at Jeff Trenner and Trenner Bail Bonding. Locked up, need to get out. Don't hesitate, don't procrastinate. Call Jeff or Jimmy at 334-864-5559. That's Trenner Bail Bonding, because ain't nobody got time to stay locked up. From Chambers County, overnight Chambers County Sheriff deputies arrested the following: Jeremy Shane Nix, 40, from Valley, bond revocation on 2 counts. Jarriet Reed Ezel, 21, from Opelika, FTA, driving on a suspended license. From Lanett, overnight, Lanett police arrested the following: Emily Nicole Smith, 41, from Valley, FTA, theft of property in the 4th. Kenneth Lamar Farrell, 44, from Lanett, FTA, domestic violence in the 3rd. Timothy Jerome Gates, 52, from Lafette, FTA, traffic. Consalo Latarsa Glaze, 49, from Lanett, FTA, traffic and possession of a controlled substance. Lanett police also reported the following incidents from overnight: theft of property in the 4th in the 100 block of South 19th Street, criminal trespass in the 3rd in the 1400 block of North 6th Avenue. Nothing to report this morning from the Valley Police Department. We do have the arrest report from Tuesday, which includes the following: J.C. Lynn McKeehan, 29, from Valley, theft of services, criminal tampering, and an FTA. Willie Marshall Colbert III, 36, from Valley, public intoxication. Tyler Bruce Wade Self, 24, from Valley, possession of marijuana in the 2nd. And Trevor Michael Lucas, 46, from Ashland, Alabama, an FTA. That is your daily arrest report for this Wednesday, brought to you by Jeff Trenner and Trenner Bail Bonding. Locked up, need to get out, don't hesitate, don't procrastinate. Call Jeff or Jimmy at 334-864-5559. Our morning news brought to us in part this morning by our friends at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Exit 62 in Opelika. Get ready to smile. Along with South State Bank, with branches in Valley and West Point. SewMachine.com, where you can turn that arts and crafts dream into a reality. The Tire Man, Kenny Knox and Kenny Knox Tire and Service. Southern Union State Community College, with campuses in Wadley, Opelika, and Valley. Valley Auto Service, where they can fix it for you. Right over there in West Point, next to the Point University ball fields. The Grossman Law Firm, with locations in Auburn as well as Valley. The Bowling Alley, where they'll be rolling the rock Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Great location with the arcades and a lot of stuff for the kids. And Fall Leagues is coming up in the next few days. We go now to Opelika, where yesterday a big turnout for the grand opening and ribbon cutting at Fox Run School, hosted by the Opelika Chamber of Commerce. As you can see, a lot of people are on hand, including school representatives, chamber representatives. Representative in the Alabama House, Jimmy Gray, was in attendance. Tracy West from the Alabama State School Board, also in attendance, as well as representation from the Opelika mayor and council. Just an amazing turnout yesterday in Opelika for the grand opening, really the grand opening and ribbon cutting for the Fox Run School. The school designated for sixth grade students has approximately 300 students there, and it is very nice. If you're going down Fox Run Parkway in Opelika, you can take a look, and it is extremely impressive. We go now to the north end of the county and received word on this yesterday, and it is absolutely my pleasure to report that West Fraser Timber Company in Hughley fulfilled the need for the Union Hill Volunteer Fire Department, as West Fraser donated 12,000 reserve water tanks to provide the area in the district that did not have access to fire hydrants or drafting points. The tank will be used to fill the tanker trucks during emergency situations in Union Hill. Thank you, West Fraser. Very much needed in that end of the county. Fantastic. You can read our blog right there on Facebook regarding that fantastic news right there. All right, guys, coming right back, and we're going to talk about tonight's GOP debate. I don't know what the president was doing in Maui, but rumors are flying. Not a good look for President Biden. And that tax abatement, that 10-year abatement for Hester's tag and label, we'll get into that and so much more straight ahead here on your morning news, back in less than 5.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cab, discounted up to $11,250 off. Chevy Equinox with 0 down as low as $329 per month. Chevy Malibu 0 down as low as $369 per month.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith and Opelika, on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Turn that arts and crafts dream into a reality at sewingmachine.com. They offer sewing machines, printers, presses, as well as embroidery and vinyl, offering premium quality and discounts since 1983.
Valley Auto Service in West Point can do it all when it comes to automotive repairs. All major and minor tune-ups, they can do it. Need brakes? Try to stop on in. Open since 1968, Valley Auto Service is your Auto Valley certified dealer and your AC Delco dealer. Valley Auto Service, home of the 21st century tune-up. Call 706-645-2291. Valley Auto Service, they can do it.
South State Bank in West Point is your local bank, serving the community. South State's goal has always been to help you meet yours, no matter how big or small your goal may be. Visit us at one of our local South State locations or online at southstatebank.com to get started.
I am Deborah Mitchell. Give us a call today for a free consultation and let us help you.
And now more news you can use. We're going to start off on the national front tonight. Fox News will host the first GOP debate from Milwaukee. 8 candidates vying for the Republican nominee. You'll notice, of the 8, former President Donald Trump will not be the one in attendance, although he will have some sort of representation there. Speaking of the former president of the United States, he is scheduled to surrender along with those of the like of Rudy Giuliani in Atlanta, Georgia tomorrow. We'll see what the implications are of that, but I would assume due to that, the former president, who is the leading Republican nominee for the GOP, will not be in attendance tonight. I think that airs on Fox tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now the former president, or the current president of the United States, Joe Biden. You can see the former president appears to be getting some nap time in Maui. What makes this unfortunate, as well as some other adjectives that I cannot say on this newscast, is that this is during a remembrance in Maui of the now 115 that have passed away and over 1,100 that have gone missing in a memorial in Maui. Now, this also comes on the heels as the current president said he could relate to those in Maui of the worst wildfire this country has seen in over 100 years, because nearly 20 years ago, he experienced a small kitchen fire at his home in Delaware, where he was fearful that he was going to not only lose his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, but his cat and his 67 Corvette. Now, many conservatives and media in the conservative world are saying this is an embarrassment. The liberal media says this is being blown out of proportion. I don't know. Agree to disagree, I guess, on the political front. Let's move over to some local news and some news we are proud to report. On Monday night's Lynette Mayor and Council meeting, the council voted unanimously on a 10-year tax abatement for Lynette business Hester's Tag and Label. Later on this afternoon, we'll receive the breakdown of that abatement based off the financial capital it provides to not only our area, but as well as the state. But some really good news from the Lynette Mayor and Council meeting from Monday night. And for Hester's Tag and Label, it was presented by the Chambers County Development Authority's actually Ansley M. Finger. I'm sorry, Ans. I just talked to you on the phone. Can't even get your name right. I'm kidding. Ansley does an amazing job. And now the new executive director, Chris Busby, trust me, Chambers County is in very good hands for the future as we move forward. Speaking of the Development Authority, coming up next, we're going to pay tribute to our friend Val. Valerie Gray is retiring at the end of this month, and I find it fitting for some personal remarks on what Valerie has meant to the economic impact of Chambers County and the enormous sacrifices she has made. And the reason we're in such high position moving forward has to go on the heels of what Valerie Gray and her team at the CCDA did following the mills closing down. I'll talk in depth about that in the next 5 minutes. This is your Gator Morning News as we stream live on Facebook as well as YouTube. We'll be right back.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Four Seasons Heating and Air can sure keep you cool this summer. That's because they're your complete authorized Carrier dealer. Carrier comfort is just what the doctor ordered on these hot days. Carrier, turn to the experts. Turn to Four Seasons Heating and Air. Call today, 334-576-COOL. That's 334-576-2665.
It's fun, it's fresh, it's the new bowling alley in Valley.
Welcome y'all out here to the bowling alley. Come out and bowl with us. It's Mr. Jason telling all of you come bowl with us. Our hours are Thursday, Friday from 5 to 10, Saturday from 12 to 10. We have a family session from 12 to 4, just like we do at the skating rink. We have it here at the bowling alley too.
Keely Knox car off of I-85, exit 77 on Farm James Drive.
your partner, your neighbor, your friend. Since 1907, serving our local communities, Auburn Bank is a proud supporter of high school football and local news. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Last Friday, the Chambers County Development Authority had a bit of a goodbye celebration for Executive Director Valerie Gray, who is retiring at the end of the month. I have mentioned this a few times, and I want to take it a step further. And I want to talk about something that we have talked about for a number of years, and we still continue to talk about. And when the history book is written about Chambers County, Alabama, there will be a section in that book, rightfully so, regarding Valerie Gray and the Chambers County Development Authority's impact. You have to dial the clock back to 2007, 2008, when our mills officially closed its doors. Following that, unemployment went through the roof. There was also a housing market national crisis that we saw the impact of that locally. And because of that, unemployment rose and rose and rose. And at that time, Chambers County had one of the highest unemployment rates in the entire state. And that's when Valerie and her team went to work. Today, Chambers County, Alabama, when it comes to economic development, job creation, job manufacture, and relationships, we are set as a staple, as what to do to get things right. Valerie Gray and her team turned around what was a disastrous economic situation for our county and turned it into what today is a positive. And she's done it first class. She didn't take cheap shots. She didn't compromise our county whatsoever. She did it through what makes Valerie Gray an amazing person, an amazing friend, and something we can be proud of. Valerie Gray will soon join the retired world, but she's not going to be retired. She's going to be a consultant. And in my personal opinion, I can't think of a better consultant. For communities that need to know what to do, how to figure it out, I don't know of a better person to guide and instruct than Valerie Gray. I'm going to close this by saying something that I haven't said publicly, and this is going to go to the core of what makes Valerie Gray such a great person. Counties and communities all over the South, in the state, and even in the region have had to go to measures to keep themselves competitive. An occupational tax. Now, me personally, I've lobbied about an occupational tax for years. Then we must ask ourselves the question, well, why did Chambers County then and even today not address an occupational tax? I asked my good friend that one years ago. And you know what she told me? That with all of the hardships that we were going through and experiencing at that time, she didn't think it was fair to slap a tax burden on the citizens of Chambers County. Did you hear what I just said? You see, in life, and we're seeing it play out on a national level, everybody thinks that there's a mentality that you have to be this dog, that you have to sometimes even cheap shot your way to get to success. But you see, Valerie Gray's proof that that's certainly not the case. Ethics matter. And Valerie has shown me as a young reporter starting out, and boy, did she have to get me through some rough times, because I certainly didn't know anything. And she did it with grace, and she did it with poise. And I will be forever indebted to Valerie Gray, such as our county has. I've often said you can learn an awful lot from a small town. And we live in a world today, we live in a country today where ethics have simply taken a back seat. You can learn a lot from a small town. You can learn a lot from somebody like Valerie Gray. And on behalf of Chambers County, Alabama, even though they may not want me speaking for them, we will be forever indebted to the service of Valerie Gray. And thank you for your leadership. And thank you for getting us through what was arguably one of the toughest economic times in the whole entire state. It's easy to win when you have the chips. But when you don't have the chips and you still continue to be successful, that, my friend, is called greatness, and it's legendary. And I thank you, Valerie Gray, and I wish you a tremendous retirement. And as far as your team goes, there is a reason why I firmly believe we are on the doorstep of returning to a prominence that we have all been looking for. There's a reason why Chambers County, Alabama is on the threshold of coming back. And it's called the CCDA. And Chris Busby will take us there very soon. I conclude. Thank you, Valerie Gray. You're top notch. My name is Gator Kincaid, and that's going to do it for News You Can Use. We'll be back later on to inform you objectively with news that simply matters on a local front. Oh, real quick, don't forget, Chambers County School District having a call board meeting tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern. Gator Media will be there to live stream that. My name is Gator Kincaid, signing off.